Lucky one for you today. The Metro prepaid met002. I've been putting loads of these in, to be honest. They're excellent for private landlords who want to pay for their, it's not sponsored by the way, but private landlords who want to pay for their for the tenants to pay for their electric separately. These are cracking, but I wondered why they never used them in network, and I'll show you why today, because luckily or unluckily, the apprentice dropped it and it sort of popped open like a Kinder egg, to be honest. It's absolutely knackered. But we'll start off by, there's all effect sensors. Well, there's contact switches for your cover. It does support CT. But there's Hall effect sensors in places. It takes IR, infrared. But one bit that did throw me off completely, well, if you just look at the damage there, it's got a nice chunky 12 volt DC coil on it, but the actual plastic snapped due to the impact, which is a bit shoddy really. Well, in fact, the whole thing itself, although the technology is pretty good and stuff, and I really like the idea of putting everything on the inside, it is just a little bit shoddy. These, you couldn't hack these right well because they're thought on to monitor the neutral, just in case, you know, putting it out there for all the bigger companies. Yeah, just monitor the neutral. You'd probably catch 80% of your people, but well, never mind. Yeah, the bit that really did strike me was there's no communications on this. I never actually thought of it at all. I've been putting these in for, like I say, I ain't going to stop putting them in. They're quite good, but there's no communications on it whatsoever. It's all done by cryptography. So basically it's the codes dictate everything on the system, which means in theory it could be hacked, but I certainly can't do this. It would have some sort of public key, private keys, there's a real-time clock there. Yeah, it'll have some sort of keying system to tell it how much your rate is, because you can set your rates. It's quite, yeah, it's baffled me actually, but I can't believe I never actually thought of it. But there's no communications to them, to the outside world. It's done totally on cryptography. I would, even if you are a landlord though, I would highly recommend getting these. They are quite foolproof. You can't, yeah, there's nothing you can really do. They're very well protected. There is a space for the comms, which is here. So the comms, I'm presuming, sits into this little space here, which is all capped off. There's also another battery just there. I don't understand why there's two batteries. This one's fucked. It is pretty well protected, but pretty shitly made, I'll be honest. Yeah. Like I say, I always wondered why the network never used these, but I don't use them because they're made like tin. I mean, it wasn't a serious drop either. It would bad enough, I suppose. But yeah, if you're a landlord, I'd recommend these. Not this one though, it's knackered, but I would strongly recommend Metro Prepaid to give them a look.